I'm Sarah.
Yeah, I'm Callie.
Yep. This is Callie's making of her RWBY scythe.
Yeah. You know that person on Tumblr who cosplayed RWBY?
Yep.
That was me.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. Her Tumblr's Mitsuki T.
So, anyways, Sarah, I'm gonna show you how I made the RWBY site, the whole process I went through.
Cool.
It was a long one. I actually only videotaped about a quarter of it, and it's still about a 15-minute video. So.
Oh. Well, it'll be helpful to other people who want to make their own RWBY stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the trailer for White.
Me
I'm really
too.
excited
They said
for
that it's coming out soon, so that's exciting.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so this right here, this is the sketch that I made in SketchUp, Google SketchUp.
Cool.
I made this whole thing that you're about to see, and then I I traced over it with Google SketchUp. And then, so to make it lighter, originally we didn't know how heavy it was going to be, and we didn't, so we made it hollow. So with these lines, the part we were going to cut out. This is all it laid out for what exactly we're going to cut out. Oh, and here, what I did is after making this Google SketchUp file, is I made it into the correct file format, which took a lot of effort, more than it should have. And I used this thing called a CNC machine, which you basically put in the file, and it uses this drill to go around all the parts that you make, like all the lines that you made, until it cuts all the way through it. Well, but yeah, you don't have to go all the way through it, but I was clearly trying to go all the way through it. This took about 5 hours.
Wow.
If there had been no problems, it probably would have taken about an hour and a half. And the one you're watching here, it is actually the not screw-up version. This is the second time we did this. The first time we did this was us stopping and starting and stopping and starting because pieces were shattering. Like, really terribly. Like, oh my god, I actually had to remake some pieces by hand because they shattered so terribly. Through trial and error, we figured out that you had to have a vacuum right next to it. We also figured out that 12 RPM at, what was it, like 3 inches per second or something was don't quote me on that, was the drill bit speed we had to go at. Oh, yeah, the thing that you just watched, that was a piece shattering.
Oh.
Yeah, so a piece shattered on this one too. So I had to, I zoomed in on it. Yeah, that's a shattered piece. So then we started back up again. I had to restart it.
Is that a vacuum still, or what is that?
No, that is just a stick. That's if you were using a CNC machine, learn to love tabs, because if you don't put enough tabs in it, the pieces will pop out, and that's how you get the shattering, because as the drill goes through its last layer, the it'll just like rattle around, and it'll just be hitting each other, and it just will be terrible. So we didn't put enough tabs on it, so we had to actually hold down the pieces to the board. Yeah. And here is me cutting out the tabs. You're seeing how the camera's moving over? I didn't really notice that when I was doing this, but the camera's, every time I pound it, because I'm like hammering the tabs out, the camera would like move over and eventually just fell off the table. So, my bad. And here's all the shattered pieces.
Wow, that's pretty terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. It was pretty terrible. Also, since we had the wrong RPM, it was shattering the sides of the plastic. So that's what this is a picture of. Huh. And now here's a lot of me drilling out those tabs and scratches that you just saw. And I keep getting up, usually because, one time was because I made a huge gash in my hand. One time was because...
You're so smart.
I know, shut up. You don't even know. When we get to the end of this video, you'll see I literally fucked up on every stage of the process. Like, I don't even understand how it ended up getting made on time, because I finished this whole scythe the day before I was going to use it at Sac Anime.
I remember you freaking out on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, and then another time I got up was to grab my iPad so I can listen to the RT podcast. That's why I have headphones on. And then as I was doing this piece here, this huge one, all my pieces that had been stacked to the right of the screen here all fell onto the ground, and I got really, really angry, and I stomped around a bit, but I think the camera had stopped recording at that point, so thank God. Oh my God, look at how the piece is bending. That's so terrible.
Yeah, I love how you're applying pressure onto the bent part, how close you were to just breaking it.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is where I cut myself. This is me, like, nurturing my wound, and then I had to go get a band-aid, and I came back. And here's me laying out the pieces in my garage. And I started gluing on the pieces, and I screwed up this point too. So that was me rubbing off the glue that I had just put on, because I put it in the wrong place. And then I attached it. And then I think the glue takes, like, I don't know how long it takes to dry, but yeah, I had to use a lot of tissues because it kept seeping out the sides. Huh. That glue ruined my entire house. And the foam ruined probably more of my entire house. I don't know how that can work, but it did.
I can't wait to see the foam.
Oh God, the foam. I used floral foam. Don't use floral foam. I used the wrong kind of foam because I'm stupid and I didn't look anything up.
This turned out really well for,
all the screw-ups?
Yeah, all the fuck-ups.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like it would have just been horrid looking. Or
Yeah.
you wouldn't have even had it at all.
Yeah, I know, right? I was so proud of myself. Oh, here's another fuck-up that I didn't notice until I completed the entire thing. So take a look at the one on the right, this little beak thing on the right, and take a look at the one on the left. I didn't match them up.
Oh God.
I didn't. You see that little? There's like a black outline.
Mm-hmm.
That was me taking the original, kind of making an outline for the tip, just kind of eyeing it, and then using another piece to sort of as like a splint to put them on. And yeah, they didn't match up at all. I'll show you on the final version. I actually did not notice until like I was completely done. I painted it, and I'm like, oh shit, what's this?
That's pretty hideous.
Yeah. Oh, and I also there's some little white parts. That was me trying to hot glue them together with paper splints. That didn't work either, and it just obstructed the glue, the plastic glue. So I had to sandpaper them off. I had to sandpaper paper off. Okay, and here's the fight. Yeah, you can see all this fuck ups and yeah. Oh, and also, you might be able to see it really clearly here. The circle is on one side on one, and on the other side on the other. I didn't notice this until the next day.
I don't even understand.
You can see that on one of them, I did it wrong and then corrected it, but on this one I didn't realize that, so I kept it there. And so here you can see that I sandpapered both of them off, and they're now correctly in the right place. It's fine. Okay, here's the foam. Me in shorts and a t-shirt, wearing a mask, and so I used scissors because floral foam's super, easy to cut. It also is like tiny shards of glass, basically.
Oh, God.
So it sticks to your clothes, it gets in your eyes, it gets in your lungs. It never comes off, ever. And my entire house was coated, I'm not actually kidding, my entire house was coated in foam by the end of this. I didn't even work on it in my house, but it would stick to me, and I would walk around my house, and it would, fly off of me onto everything. And so you would sit down on my couch, and you'd feel, these little fibers, and you're like, oh, that's uncomfortable.
You're such a genius.
I'm such a genius, I know.
What's the correct foam to use?
The correct foam to use is regular foam. and instead of using scissors, you would use hot wire. What you do is you use foam, just like the foam that's made of little beads that are fused together.
Yeah.
So you use that foam, and then you have a hot wire tool that you can buy that you just carve it out like butter, basically.
Oh, that sounds easy.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of what I did. So I did this about 5 times. What you're seeing here is just one section. I made about 5 sections. The worst part of it, I think, was... So I would take the big block of foam still in a square shape, and I would stick the rod into it, which would usually result in it breaking in half. So I went through about twice the amount of foam that I should have. That's sitting next to the left or to the right of me is called a Dremel. It's about the most useful thing you could possibly have for anyone who does anything. It's kind of like a drill / tiny sandpaper thing / I don't know. But it's the thing that I used to sandpaper all the tabs off earlier.
Callie takes cosplay commissions, so...
Do I?
You do.
Since when?
I don't know.
Since right now, I guess?
I mean, she'll probably F it up.
No, I won't! I'll fix it! I fixed everything, except the points that were not together. That's the only thing I didn't fix. Everything else was fixed. Somehow. I have literally no clue how. But, there's a lot of stuff that was a fuck-up that I didn't show on this, that also had to be fixed. So anyways, after I carved all this stuff out of foam, I had to cover it in something called foam coat, which I didn't learn this until I was actually at the convention. Foam coat does not work very well on floral foam. Foam coat is very much made for that beaded foam, the regular foam that you think of when you hear foam. Foam coat all it does is just kind of puts like kind of imagine like taking a piece of a marshmallow and coating it in chocolate. That's basically how foam coat works on floral foam. So it kind of got a little fucked up at the convention, honestly, because you couldn't actually grip the everything I carved.
Well, it sounds kind of tasty, though, at least.
No, it wasn't.
Did you try?
I didn't try it on purpose, no. No, I didn't. I told you, it gets on everything.
Okay.
Everything. I got everything made. I skipped ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
At this point, I was so tired that I didn't film I didn't film the foam coat. It's pretty much like painting on plaster is what it's like. If you can imagine that. It comes out pretty lumpy. So, I painted on the plaster. I slept because this whole process took about, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 days straight. But, you know, I slept and stuff. But anyway, so this was the next day. This is the day before the convention, and I am painting it. So here's the first layer. It's red. There's a ghost on the ground. That's because we used this plastic for a haunted house a very long time ago. And here's the red with the mask over it, like, you know, it's just painter's tape that I basically just put on it. And then I painted it black. And then I painted the what's it called? I don't know, what is it? I guess it's the gun part of the scythe.
Yeah.
The handle. Yes, I painted the handle here. And then I painted, okay, this little thing you see here has nothing to do with the gun pretty much. So the thing on the left is, you know how in the middle of the video she like takes ammo out of her bag and attaches it? So I wanted to do that, so that's what that thing on the left is. And the thing on the right, it's the handle of her gun, because I actually made the gun too, like the actual gun form of it, but I didn't bring it to the convention or anything because I didn't finish it and this took a lot of my time. So then it got dark, so I had to move it out inside. My dad set up these gigantic lights and more black, and I think, here's the silver's about to come on. Yeah, here's the silver. And there's the gun, you can see it on the ground. I also fucked up on the gun. I put a bunch of extra plastic I didn't need on it. Didn't realize it until a couple hours later, and then we had to chisel it off. Basically what I did is I only painted, like, all the big stuff black. Like, I painted the inside black, and I painted all the big stuff black, and then I penned on all the, like, little details. Like the stripes and that circle. And the two circles and everything. And I also did the same thing on the handle. I painted the main like stick black, but I painted the actual like gun part of it red. And then I went in and I had to hand color all the stuff that was black. So
Nicely done.
yeah, it actually turned out pretty well.
Yeah.
It's super lumpy from all the foam coat. And that is the completed beauty.
It's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. You can tell at the tip, you can't really see the one below it, Because it's like off at an angle, it's a lot smaller. It's going off, and it's kind of like crooked teeth. That's how it looks from one angle, and from the other angle, it looks fine. I'm making White's costume too.
Make one for me.
You can be yellow, or not yellow.
I want to be white though.
You can't be white. Bonnie's gonna be white. You can be black.
Okay.